peculiar to Western music. This geometric arrangement of frequencies of the keys in an octave is called an equally tempered arrangement, and besides the keyboard, most Western musical instruments are also tuned to such an arrangement. Even though there is a degree of freedom about what you want to be at the range of the octave, whether it's from 240 to 480 or 254 to 508, the Western music defines a standard octave called the middle octave, and also called the middle C octave. It's also called the middle key scale, and this was what we heard Harihar playing a few minutes ago. That starts from the white key set to 240 Hz. The entire octave, the 12 key pattern that is shown in the figure, which you can read in the textual portion if you'd like. On the keyboard, this octave is located somewhere near the middle. Once you have figured where this octave is, you can quickly identify the first key of this octave set to 240 Hz, and because we know the ratio of the key frequencies, now we can pretty much compute the frequency generated by any key because it's related to the first key. You will also notice that the keyboard has about 3 to 4 octaves between 36 to 48 keys, depending upon how much you paid for it. The upper octave starting from 480 Hz is the upper C octave, and the lower octave starting at 120 Hz is the lower C octave. From table 1 given below, which you can see in the text, which you can download from the web page, we notice that the keys in the octave have labels for identification. Of the white keys, and there are 7 of them in an octave, the first one is called C, hence the term middle C octave, and then we progress alphabetically to G and get back to A and B, in which the present octave ends and the C key of the next octave begins. The same labeling system is repeated for the keys in the other octave as well. If you notice, the 5 black keys have ambiguous labels because each one of them has 2 labels. The first black key, for example, is called C sharp or D flat. It is obvious that sharpening essentially is a technical term for being one key higher, and similarly flattening is one key lower in frequency than the white key in the prefix. The labels, frequencies of all the 12 keys in the middle C octaves are provided in a table. Now let's continue listening to the musical illustration, where we'll also compare this to how it sounds in the Carnatic music scale. Okay, now we will see the same notes as labeled as swaras, or the Indian way of doing things. So this was C, we call it Sa. So this is the next note, which is called the Sadharana Rishabam. Shuddha Rishabam. It's called Re, Sa, Re. Next note. Sa, Re. So this is the Chatushruti Rishabam. Now this note is called the Sadharana Gandharam. Sa, Ga. The next note, Ga. It's the Antara Gandharam. Next note, Ma. It's called the Shuddha Madhyamam. This is called the Prati Madhyamam. Ma. Pa. This is the fifth or the Panchamam. Sa. Pa. Dha is the Shuddha Devatam. Sa. Ta. This is the Chatushruti Devatam. Ni. This is the Kaisiki Nishadam. Pa, ni. Next note. Ni. It's called the Kakali Nishadam. Sa, which is the end of the octave. So what we have seen is the two varieties for the Devatam, Nishadam, Rishabham and Gandharam and Madhyamam, and one variety for the Sa and Pa, for a total of 12 notes. That is called the Dwadasha, or 12 note scheme. Now we will look at the Shodasa scheme. The only difference in this is that a few notes like Rishabham, Gandharam, Devatam, Nishadam have alternate labeling. Okay, so we'll start from Sa, and go to Chatushruta Rishabham. Sa, Re. No, next one. Re. Now this Chatushruta Rishabham can also be labeled as Gandharam. Sa, Ga. Actually, the way it is sung is Sa, Re, Ga. Ga, Ma, Za, Re, Ga, Ma, Ga, Re, Za, Ma, Ga, Re, Za. Okay, so you see that even though it is the Chatushruta Rishabham, it's called a different Gandharam. It's called a Shuddha Gandharam in that case. Okay, now what we do is the Sadharana Gandharam can also be called as Rishabham. So this is called Shat Shruti Rishabham. Shat Shruti Rishabham. Sa, Ga. Instead of calling that Ga, we call it Re. Sa, Re. Okay, so this occurs in Ragam Snignatai, where we do Sa, Re, Ga, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa, Ni, Va, Ma, Ga, Ma, Re, Sa. Okay, so that was Shat Shruti Rishabham. We go on to Devatam. First we'll do Pa. Pa, Da, Pa, Da, and we call that Ni. Pa, Ni, Pa, Da, Ni. So usually it's sung like that. So Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Okay, so Sa, Ni, Da, Ba, Ba, Da, Ni, Sa, Ni, Da, Ba. Okay, so it has a sort of weird or Vivadi feeling about it, so that's why it's called a Vivadi Swaram. Okay, similarly in the Kaisika Nishadam, Ni can also be sung as Dha. Pa, Da, Ni, Sa, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. So that comes in Nate. Okay, so these two extra varieties for Devatam Nishadam and for Rishabham Gandharam add 4 more notes, and these artificial notes or aliased notes together with the 12 notes are called the Shodasa Swarasthana scheme. That's the end of this module.